Very good afternoon and welcome everyone to game number 3 of the day. Coming to you live from the state-of-the-art Prairie View Cricket Complex. This is a huge fixture between two tournament favorites, as you see on your screen. The KINGSMEN, who are unbeaten in the tournament and are one of the hot favorites, they take on the Clarion Eagles. The game is about to start in 5 minutes. The toss was won by Kingsman and they decided to bat first. With me, I've got my young colleague who's replacing his dad in the commentary box, Matt Achabar. Only 14 years old. Matt, how's your experience been so far in this Houston Open?
It's been great. It's been a great experience to come all the way down south to Houston. I mean, the cricketing over on pitch 6 hasn't lived up to expectations. It's been a pretty easy day, but hopefully this one does. Change of pitch, and two very solid teams, Kingsman X and Clarion Eagles, about to battle it out.
First time working with you, Matt. My initial observation is you got a spring in your stride. A lot of exuberance of youth coming through on the microphone, unlike a mellowed down father of yours. And as you see, the Clarion Eagles squad is on your screen right now. Zishan Ashraf and Mukhtar Ahmed, the two openers. Sohaib Maqsood, a recognized name in the international circuit. Saif Badr, Ben Dung, Tom Bruce, hailing from New Zealand. Michael Grattan, the left-arm orthodox and Chinaman. Ahmad Butt, Ali Shafiq and Arshad Iqbal, followed by Arish Ali. And looking at the other squad for the Kingsmen, Matt?
Another star-studded lineup. You look at the likes of Shehan Jayasuriya, Nakrumah Bonner, West Indies international. Fawad Alam, also Pakistani international test player. The likes of Isan Adil, Tajinder Singh, and Zia ul Haq. Three key players as well from across the United States. So overall, two teams that both pack a punch with a good mix of both American and overseas talent. Should be a cracker of a game here to close the day off here at pitch number 5.
And looks like Khurram Manzoor and Tajinder Singh are the two opening batsmen. Sharjeel Khan and Martin Guptill have opened the batting for the Kingsman recently. This is nice and full, well defended. The first delivery is a dot ball. Remind you, this is the DAFA News Houston Open 2023, the third edition of this prestigious tournament. We've got 15 teams competing over 5 days. Yesterday was a rained out day because of the hurricane overnight that came through in Houston. So today all the games are reduced to 15 overs as Arshad continues, and that's a short delivery. Some chin music. And the umpire reckons that's over the head of the batsman, so that's a wide ball. And it's also signal for one bouncer for the over.
First bit of runs off the board for the Kingsmen X comes by way of an extra. Khurram Manzoor and Tajinder Singh. Two very top quality openers here. Tajinder Singh, we know how dangerous and aggressive he can be right at the start of an innings. But a Clarion Eagles lineup that has a lot of bowling talent. The likes of Arshad Iqbal starting things off here. Ali Shafiq, Ahmad Butt, Michael Grattan, or Michael Rippon as he's also known as.
Is coming from almost the edge of that 30-yard circle is Arshad. And that's again bowled into the pitch, and it's gone up in the air. The keeper scampers through but couldn't get to it. So they get through for a single, living dangerously there. Khurram Manzoor.
Yeah, one flying off the edge, popped straight up in the air. In the end, it landed in no man's land. So it gets Tajinder Singh onto strike with two already on the board. Kingsmen X. Two one of two Kingsmen's in this tournament. We would have also seen Kingsmen, just Kingsmen, with the likes of Shahjil Khan, Martin Guptill, would have already gotten an emphatic win.
If you look around all the rosters in this tournament, Kingsman is arguably the most tagged up, alongside the likes of UMMC Knight Riders, Atlanta Fire, Samp Army. Some of the most dangerous teams in this tournament so far.
And despite that, the Kingsmen X actually coming right into this game off of a 15-run loss against the Dallas All-Stars.
And this is again nice and short, angling into his rib cage. Well done by Tajinder to get onto the back foot and flick it to deep square leg for a single.
Off the mark straight away is Tajinder Singh. So reduced game, as we've mentioned. We've had them all day. 15 overs aside. Power play of 5 overs. Kura Manzoor, Tajinder Singh out in the middle for the Kingsmen X. Arshad Iqbal has started things off well.
A nice tight line and length by Arshad Iqbal. Nicely defended by Kura Manzoor. Of course, he's known for his appearances for Pakistan national team. Played test cricket for them. Known as a very steady batsman, good technique. Also got the improvisational skills and the powerful game to survive and thrive in this format. A big trigger movement, getting deep into the crease, but he was surprised by that foolish delivery. Maybe it didn't rise as much as you would think.
Yeah, definitely an awkward looking shot there from Kura Manzoor. Getting an inside edge onto the pad perhaps. Very tidy stuff this from Arshad Iqbal. Can't complain about the way he started things off. 3 runs off 5 deliveries, bowling to, as you mentioned, 2 top quality batsmen. Kura Manzoor, player with Pakistan experience. Tajinder Singh would have also had a bit of IPL experience with, I believe, the Mumbai Indians and the Punjab Kings for a few years.
And that's nice and full. There was some room and that invitation outside the off stump. Big booming drive from Kura Manzoor. Misses out. The over comes to a close. 3 for no loss at the end of 1. We're back live in the second over of this Kingsman X innings. Just to remind you that Kingsman X are without the inspirational leadership of their skipper, Shayan Jahangir, who recently got drafted into the USA national team, and he's making Houston proud and the country proud with his performances. 100, followed by a 71. Of course, he's being missed at the top of the order.
Yeah, bittersweet feelings, you've got to say, for the Kingsmen X, knowing that they're, at the end of the day, they are without Shayan Jahangir, but at the same time, I'm sure they're cheering him on with the US national team. A big step up for him as a player himself. Definitely a huge opportunity for him, as of late, to be called up into the US side, and as you mentioned, not only has he made it to the US national team, he's done quite well.
The second over is about to resume. We'll get you the name of this bowler who's coming in from the forest end. Bowling to Tajinder.
So Ali Shafiq picks things up from the other end. Arshad Iqbal, Ali Shafiq, 2 very top quality pacers out of Pakistan. Tajinder Singh is on 1. Kura Manzoor also on 1, and we would have seen a wide previously. Very fine start this by the Clarion Eagles.
That's slightly short of length. Tajinder Singh rocks back, uses the pace of the delivery. There's deep square leg patrolling that boundary, so just a single. Decent pace on these first few deliveries from Ali Shafiq.
Yeah, he's known across the country to be very quick, very steady bowler, Ali Shafiq. One thing to note between these two sides is that they're two nationwide brands or two nationwide franchises, in the sense that they're both teams that are quite the norm in major tournaments across the country.
Ali Shafiq continues, and this is slightly short of length, and Tajinder Singh needs no invitation. He was looking for that very short for the last couple of deliveries. This time he makes good connection, and that goes for a 4.
First boundary of the innings off the bat of Khurram Manzoor moves things up to 8. So Ali Shafiq started things off well, but now Khurram Manzoor latches on to the shorter one. Placement was excellent.
And you said, Matt, that Kingsman X are quite an established franchise. They arguably won the most prestigious tournament, franchise-based tournament, private tournament in the country in the form of US Open. And it was Shayan Jahangir leading them on that occasion. As Khurram Manzoor again takes strike. Ali Shafiq charging in from the forest end. And this is nice and full. He throws the kitchen sink at us at this. A lot of intent early on from these two batsmen.
Yeah, Khurram Manzoor, very obvious to see what he was planning to do with that delivery. In the end, all it does is go through to the keeper. So good comeback delivery from Ali Shafiq. But yeah, as you mentioned, Kingsman X, the Kingsmen brand itself has been very successful across many cities, across many states, as well as the Clarion Eagles franchise. They've been very constant in tournaments like the US Open and the Unity Cup in DC.
And this one, Khurram Manzoor comes down the track, meets it on first bounce, gets right under the ball, and that sails for a long 6. 10 meters over the boundary.
Huge hit that. Right off the middle of the bat from Khurram Manzoor. And Ali Shafiq, he started off the over quite well. Had a couple of good deliveries to start things off, but now Khurram Manzoor really kicking things into gear. Seeing some of that class, some of that experience we made mention about. And after a good first over from Arshad Iqbal, things are starting to look much more like the Kingsman X we've come to know across the last few years.
And like we said, don't be deceived by the test stature and exploits in the prestigious Quaid-e-Azam Trophy of Khurram Manzoor. When it comes to white ball cricket, he's got the full range of strokes like he displayed on that occasion. That went quite a lot of distance. The fielders at mid-on and mid-off had to do the retrieving. So a little break there, which gives Ben Dunk an opportunity to walk up to his bowler and discuss some plans. What kind of length to bowl to Khurram? Maybe try a bouncer to push it back in his crease. Let's see what Ali Shafiq does. Mid-on has dropped back to long on now. That's the change in the field. And this one skids through, straight through the keeper. That brings it close to the second over. After 2, it's 14 for no loss. So back live and over number 3. Khurram Manzoor has hit the ground running, a 6 and a 4, and rightly so. Going by the run of play, a spin has been brought in. Brave decision to do so inside the power play.
Yeah, especially given Arshad Iqbal was quite good in the first over, didn't do anything wrong. So interesting strategy this to introduce spin quite early on into things. And it looks like Arish Ali, number 10, for the Clarion Eagles, into the attack.
Left arm around, and Tajinder Singh takes the invitation, gets down on one knee, and it's swept for a 4. Looks like he needs a change of gloves. So a little interruption there. Going by the way these two are batting, don't change anything.
I was just going to make the point. I'm saying you've already got yourself a boundary. Not sure you'd want to change anything. Clearly the gears have been working out quite well.
And in fact, the umpire doesn't have a liking to that interruption. So there's some debate there. Of course, timekeeping in matches like these and tournaments where the schedule has to be revised and everything is on a tight schedule. Rightly so, the umpires have to be prompt on the timekeeping protocols.
Yeah, and rightly so. You've got two top quality umpires. The umpires throughout this entire tournament are all some of the country's finest. So even because of their personal pride, they would love to get the job done and done efficiently. So they take their game very serious. So back and ready, Tajinder Singh has gotten what it is that he wanted. Arish Ali will be looking to bounce back. Hasn't been allowed to settle at all. First ball would have gone for 4.
And this one back of length. He was looking to wind up again for that big pull down the leg side. But was undone by the bounce on that delivery. So rightly so, plays it off the back foot and gets across for a single. Over to you, Mr. Khurram, says Tajinder.
Yeah, you could definitely have seen, just judging by the footwork there for a split second, he was looking to go big again. That one deceiving him a little bit. Gets Khurram Manzoor on strike. A 4 and a 6 already from him.
And this one, lot of room on that delivery. To no surprise, Khurram Manzoor accepts the invitation, given there's no one sweeping on that offside. Lot of open real estate there, so a boundary there for Khurram Manzoor. The score moves along to 23.
Not a muscle move there in the field. As soon as he connected with that one, the placement, the timing was immaculate enough. Sends it away to the boundary. There was no stopping that. Khurram Manzoor, 15 of 10, has looked very fluent in his game. And things are favouring back the Kingsmen X. We saw only a 3-run first over, but since then they've gotten 20 from the next over and a half since then.
Yeah, Arish has been put under a lot of pressure. Just 3 deliveries into his first over. As he comes out again to Khurram off the back foot. The bowler does the fielding of his own bowling. So a dot ball welcomed by Clarion Eagles.
Yeah, and one thing for the Clarion Eagles that you'll probably have to break this partnership and break it early.
And that's nicely worked off his toes. There's a deep mid-wicket in position for the left-arm orthodox. That brings Tajinder back on strike. And Matt, like you said, Tajinder also is a likes-for-likes match for Khurram Manzoor. He was part of the IPL Mumbai Indians franchise and also Kings 11 Punjab. Played a lot of first cricket and has a reputation of being a huge tonker. As he nicely plays. Little confusion there, but that's going to result in a dot ball, and the over number 3 comes to a close. The score is 24 for no loss. So skipper Ali Shafiq is going to continue his second over of the spell. This is 15 over innings, so each bowler can bowl only a maximum of 3 overs.
Yeah, so certainly seems to be preserving Arshad Iqbal perhaps towards the back end of things, looking to utilize Ali Shafiq more early on.
And that could have been tied, but that was great calling by Tajinder Singh. Khurram Manzoor was looking to flick it off his hips to the leg side. Missed out, but Tajinder was quite alert. There was no close-in fielder, so that single was always on.
Yeah, that's the thing in the power play. You've got to be sharp and you've got to run very well, because with the field in, there's not going to be many opportunities for quick singles. So certainly, anytime you have an opening, you're going to have to run, you're going to have to stay alert. The communication will have to be great. Once you get out of that first 5 and the field spreads, it becomes a little more easier to rotate the strike.
And this one over pitched. And that was a desperate effort by the fielder. What a diving save, though. He couldn't hold on to the catch. My bad, that's not a 4. They get through for just a single. There was a fielder backing up from deep mid-wicket, and he was able to stop the boundary. Mistakenly, I displayed the 4-run animation. Apologies for that.
Wonderful effort, though. Can't take anything away from that. Brilliant bit of work. To even get a hand on the ball was always going to be a tough one to hold on. All of that just for a single.
That's going to be down the pads. Miscollection from the keeper. Looked like pretty straightforward. He just failed to make any kind of contact, and the signal is wide ball. So 2 wides there. They ran 1 run, and then the extra coming from the wide.
So 28 on the board. Tajinder Singh, the man on strike. He's on 8. We've already seen him strike a boundary. Was looking to go big earlier on as well.
And that's a big appeal. They look pretty confident. The umpire doesn't think there's anything to it. There's a mid-pitch argument. Let's look at this replay. As Ali Shafiq comes in. Couldn't capture the right moment there. But it seemed like he missed the ball by a fair distance. That appeal might be more tactical than anything else, just to build some pressure on Tajinder.
Yeah, and to perhaps put a little pressure on the umpires as well for any further decisions that they may have. But at this level, you're not going to get the umpires to crack that easily.
And this one is hit to deep mid-wicket. The fielder there comes in to do the cleanup, and only a single. Score moves along to 28. Brings back Khurram Manzoor on strike. Number 22 jersey. Golden pads. Very wide stance for Khurram Manzoor, looking from side on. And he also has that trigger movement, likes to get deep in his crease to the fast bowlers. As Ali Shafiq comes in, there you go, that trigger movement. And again, he pulls it very straightishly to that deep mid wicket. Another single, it's going to bring Tajinder Singh back on strike.
Much better over this from Ali Shafiq. Would have seen him go for 11 in his first time given the ball. This time he's only conceded 6. Still a bit of a quiet start for Kingsmen X, given what we normally expect from Kurram Manzoor and Tajinder Singh. Bowling has been quite tidy to keep them at just 7 and over.
Rightly said, Matt. They haven't taken off. Tajinder is 9 on 9 and Kurram Manzoor 18 of 14. There's been intent. They're trying to break the shackles, but the bowling has been so miserly and on the money so far. Ali Shafiq to Tajinder. And that's nice and full on his pads. Was looking to go down the ground, it seemed, but got the inside half of the bat. And it goes to that fielder at deep fine leg. Deep square leg. Fine of the umpire. And a single. At the end of 4, it's a steady start by the Kingsmen X. 31 for no loss. The last over of the batting power play, over number 5 to come. Just to remind you the fact that it's a 15 overs an innings game and the batting power play is only 5 overs. Each bowler can bowl a maximum of 3 overs. Ali Shafiq has bowled out 2. And it looks like there is going to be another change from the highway 290 end. There was 1 over of left arm orthodox spin. And the new bowler, we're going to get you his name in just a second. Ahmad Butt is the new bowler. Picked up a couple of wickets in the game against Masters yesterday. Another player with first class experience hailing from Pakistan.
Yeah, we mentioned him in that star-studded lineup with the Clarion Eagles. Quite a few first class or even national players in the lineup. Ahmad Butt comes into the attack looking to use some of that experience to his advantage.
And that's short and wide, a freebie or a gentle loosener to start from Ahmad Butt. Tajinder accepts the invitation off the back foot, finds that gap between short third and backward point. They're both inside the circle. So Ahmad needs to be mindful if he's going to bowl short and wide outside the off stump. He doesn't have any protection back there.
Yeah, not a great delivery. Too much width to start things off. Tajinder Singh. As long as he finds the gap on this outfield, everything will race away.
And this one, back of Tajinder was looking to go downtown, misses out and loses his stump. So Ahmad Butt strikes in his very first over. Big wicket, Matt.
Huge wicket that. Tajinder Singh was just looking to perhaps get things going.
It's played down the wrong line.
In the end, it's so close. Just clipping the top. And Ahmad Butt strikes back in the best way possible after being hit for a boundary. Dismisses his man. Tajinder Singh goes for 14. Kingsman X 35 for 1.
So back live now, resuming in the 5th over. Looks like Shehan Jayasuriya is the new batsman. He's been a mainstay for the Kingsman X, has played a lot of tournaments with them. The US Open, Houston Premier League. And Tejinder Singh had to up the ante given it was the last over of the power play. Something had got to give. He had a subdued start, Matt. He hadn't really gotten going out of the blocks, had a couple of boundaries in that short stay of his. Just played down the completely wrong line.
Yeah, it was definitely bogged down there slightly. Did get a boundary, and then Ahmad Butt striking back. Getting the wicket, Zishan Ashraf behind the stumps. So 35 for 1 as Shehan Jayasuriya walks to the middle. And how dangerous can Shehan Jayasuriya be if he gets going?
An accumulator by trade, known to score heavily in tournaments like this, as Ahmad Butt comes in, and another wild slash. Shehan Jayasuriya is looking to pierce that offside field. But how good has Ahmad Butt been? That first ball was short and wide, but the last couple of deliveries, he's hit the mark.
Yeah, he's really been on the money since then. Shehan Jayasuriya, interesting shot selection from him. First ball, a wild drive. Going expansive straight away.
And interesting footwork from Shehan Jayasuriya as Ahmad was in his delivery stride. We noticed a little hop from Shehan, just trying to put off the bowler. But Ahmad wasn't to be distracted. Sticks to his basics, that back of length, hard length. Very hard to get away.
A lot of the times when you see those bit of fancy footwork, you sometimes wonder, is it throwing off the bowler or the batter himself more?
And again, that back of length. Shehan Jayasuriya is off the blocks. And an easy 2 as the fielder comes across from deep square leg. Shehan Jayasuriya is somebody who's so crucial to the Kingsman X cause. He's that kind of player who comes in towards the end of the power play and takes them deep. And he bats at a fair notch. More often than not, if he bats on for more than 20 odd deliveries, you'll see a strike rate in excess of 150 from him. This one is again that back of length delivery. Everything from Ahmad in this over has been back of length. Very hard to get away as the power play comes to its end. Clarion Eagles would be pretty happy with the 37 for 1 from Kingsman X. So only 1 over in the first. Khurram Manzoor is going to be on strike. We've got a very fine short third inside the circle and the backward point. There's a deep point and a cover as Arshad Iqbal comes in tall and lanky, hits the deck, and there's a quick call and the batsman scamper through for a quick single. Good understanding there between Shehan Jayasuriya and Khurram Manzoor. Shayan Jayasuriya is on 2 runs of 4 balls, but knowing him, that should never be a concern because he's somebody as he bats on is always going to make up. Ball continuing from the forest end, and that's pacey delivery outside the off stump.
Yeah.
Very late to third man for a single mat.
A player like Shayan Jayasuriya, and I've only seen him a few times, but every time I do see him, he's a player that perhaps takes his time to really get himself in. Might not necessarily be flying right out of the gate. May take a few deliveries to really get himself in, really play his normal stroke shots, but once he gets set, he can be a treat to watch if he gets going.
Oh yeah, and hailing from the subcontinent, you can be rest assured that he's exceptionally good of the spinners. Left-handed batsman, anything in his arc is going to be dispatched as Arshad Iqbal. And this one,
Gone.
and two promising innings from Khurram Manzoor, was trying to use the pace of that delivery to play it behind square, top edged it to that man at short fine inside the circle, and he did well to leap and take that catch. That brings the downfall of Khurram Manzoor. It's 39 for 2. Your thoughts about that dismissal, man?
Pretty soft dismissal in the end, given the way Khurram Manzoor has batted. Good catch, though, from Ali Shafiq, because it was just about rising over his head. Had to pull out a leap in order to get it. And, you know, once you leap up, it's a bit difficult to really maintain control, especially once you land. It can bubble a bit. Made it look quite easily in the end, Ali Shafiq. So Arshad Iqbal gets the wicket. Manzoor goes for 19. 39 for 2. So Nkrumah Bonner walks to the middle. West Indies Test player. Man with a lot of experience back in the Caribbean. Finds himself with the Kingsmen X franchise. Will join Shayan Jayasuriya out in the middle. Would have seen the departure of Khurram Manzoor. Well executed back of a length shorter delivery from Arshad Iqbal and a good catch by Ali Shafiq. Now, Nkrumah Bonner, a similar player to Shayan Jayasuriya in the sense that can use up a few deliveries to really get his eye in, but once he does, can make up for any lost deliveries. But right away, Nkrumah Bonner off and running. Picks up a single. Another good over this from Arshad Iqbal. Has been very consistent, very steady.
Welcome back live on this. The 6th over is in progress. Shayan Jayasuriya facing up to Arshad Iqbal. And nice and full delivery, and Bonner is extremely quick on his feet. We folks in Houston, Matt, if I must tell you, we saw the first glimpses of Nkrumah Bonner in our local tournament called the Houston Premier League about 5 years ago. And he's gone strength to strength since, was the highest run scorer in that tournament, scored a couple of centuries playing for the UMMC Knight Riders that year, and very soon made his international debut for the West Indies, and has been a regular fixture for their test team since then.
I'll tell you what, Nkrumah Bonner is really a world traveler in the sense that not only has he played a lot of cricket in Houston, He's also been around the New York setup as well, which is where I'm based. We'll get to that after the over. 6 done, it's 41 for 2. So 41 for 2, you see the man on screen, Nkrumah Bonner, was just making the point. In addition to the experience he has here in Houston, also a player very popular in the New York area, plays with a side by the name of Queens United. Would have been with them around 2018, 2019, a few years ago. And then eventually, as he began to be picked a lot more regularly for the West Indies, moved on to bigger and better things. But yeah, man, when he comes to the United States, certainly has been to all parts of the country. He may have even played a few games in Atlanta as well. So definitely a man who has traveled the world, as we see Michael Grattan or Michael Rippon come into the attack. Another world traveler himself, Michael Rippon. He was born in South Africa, represented the Netherlands, and has now moved to the New Zealand and has represented the New Zealand national team in the last few months. And now finds himself here in the United States representing the Clarion Eagles. So a man with lots of flight hours under his belt, that's for sure.
He belongs to a very rare trade in cricket. Very hard to come by. Left arm wrist spinner. Yep. And holds the orthodox wrist spin, but also has a great Chinaman that tails into the right-hander, away from the right-hander. So it's going to be an interesting challenge against Nkrumah Bonner, who, by the way, since we first saw him, has lost 1.5 stone at least. Extremely fit now is Bonner, since he's been involved in the West Indies setup. Sunken cheekbones.
Yeah, certainly we see the emphasis on fitness, especially in the shorter format of the game. So Bonner on 2, Jayasuriya on 5. It's been a good start this for the Clarion Eagles. Kingsmen X haven't really been able to really take off to the potential and to the extent we've normally seen.
And this one is tossed up. Like we said, Shehan Jayasuriya is a wonderful player of spin. And he's the guy who won out there when it comes to the mystery spin of Michael Grattan. That brings Nkrumah Bonner back on strike. The score takes along to 44 for 2. And that's nicely driven off the back foot. In fact, the front foot. Half stride forward from Bonner. This is the 7th over, so it's been rather subdued now since the fall of those 2 wickets. As this one is nice and full. He was caught on the crease. Manages to get some bat on it and get through for a single. And a sloppy overthrow. There was no need for that. That gives Bonner 2 runs.
Extra runs can cost you. We see it so many times. The shorter the format, the closer or the more runs matter. Can't afford to be giving away free runs like that. So 5 has come off this over from Michael Rippon so far.
And this one is nicely worked by Bonner off his pads. Deep mid-wicket comes in, and that single, little bat bounce to the keeper, does well to stop it. At the end of 7, it's 47 for... Grattan on your screen bowled a good first over. And besides his miserly left arm Chinamans, he's also invaluable with the bat. He contributed a decent partnership with Tom Bruce yesterday, who hails from New Zealand himself.
Yeah, certainly we would have seen Michael Rippon lately in New Zealand, the Super Smash, the New Zealand domestic T20, plays for the Otago Volts. As a Kiwi fan myself, I keep a good track of the New Zealand domestic season. And he's a very, very handy all-rounder, Michael Rapon, ever since migrating to New Zealand. And Tom Bruce as well, who I'm sure we'll see with the bat, expecting big things from him, are the Clarion Eagles. I think that's our shot.
So they're going just under 7 runs an over. 8 overs to go in this innings. As it seems there's been a change in ends for Ahmad Butt. He bowled his first over from the Highway 290 end, but now he's coming in from the Forest end. Almost 6 feet tall, likes to hit the deck, and he picked up a big wicket in his very first over, that of Tajinder Singh, dislodging the furniture. Nkrumah Bonner facing Ahmad Butt. And that could have been a close call, but good understanding. Shehan Jayasuriya was off the blocks very quickly, so they get through for a single.
Squared him up, that one. The Nkrumah Bonner was not perhaps in full control of that one, but a single nonetheless. So as I made mention, both of these batsmen proving me right in the sense that they've taken their time, especially after the loss of a few wickets. They've done well to rebuild, but 46 deliveries remaining, things winding down. Obviously, the shortened format because of the rain yesterday, or the effect of the rain from the night before. At some point, they'll have to pick it up, which both of them are capable of doing.
And this one is angled down the leg side. Mind you, Shehan Jayasuriya had a little skip or hop in his trigger movement, moved to the off stump, but the ball was still well down the leg side and it didn't flick the thigh pad, so an easy decision for the umpire. 1 run there. Still shy of 50. 49 is the score. And this one, he comes down the track and totally foxes him. Does Ahmad Butt. That's a big wicket there. Shehan Jayasuriya. That's a prize wicket there.
That is not a replay he'll want to see. Take a look at this. Stepping down the track, and he just missed a straight ball. It's as simple as that. Shehan Jayasuriya, I don't even think he can believe it. But in the end, Ahmad Butt picks up another crucial wicket. Huge one that. Jayasuriya falls for 6. It's 49 for 3. So Umar Siddiqui is the new man in, not Fawad Alam. Perhaps expecting Fawad Alam, but they've decided to stick with Umar Siddiqui.
And look at the bounce on that delivery, and that could have been curtains for Nkrumah Bonner. They cannot afford a run out at this stage in the innings, given they've lost 3 big scalps already. Pressure, Matt.
Yeah, especially not Nkrumah Bonner. That's not a man you want to lose at this stage of the game. A very sharp single that taken. May have been Michael Grattan who got very close. Good bit of work indeed it is. So Ahmad Butt has bowled well, 2 for 9. And when you look at the 2 wickets, he's gotten very impactful ones. Tajinder Singh, Shayan Jayasuriya, both would have been bowled. Now attention shifts to Nkrumah Bonner. You'll feel he's going to be the main man that will have to stay there for the next 44 deliveries. Will have to stay till the end. And at some point, will have to accelerate because they're going at just about run a ball, which won't do much for them given this Clarion Eagles side is a team that is quite power-packed as well in their batting lineup.
Bounce on that. Bonner was caught by surprise. Rising delivery. In the scorching heat, the pitch, like we said earlier in the previous game, there's still a decent cover of grass and the grass is not dead. So that's kept the surface very hard, and if you bend your back and you hit the deck, you can extract some perches out of this wicket, and that's what Ahmad Butt is showing us. And this one is nice and full, just defended. Bonner might have been looking for a single. It wasn't on offer as over number 8 comes to a close. It's 50 for 3. So change in the bowling. Looks like there's going to be more now. Only 1 over of spin has been bowled so far in the first 8 overs.
So Arish Ali back into the attack. First over would have gone for 10. Umar Siddiqui, the new man in, is on 1. 42 deliveries remaining. At what point do you think the Kingsmen X are really going to have to start accelerating?
With only 7 overs to go, I would throw caution at the wind that the time is now. Given they've only got 50 runs on the board, as this one is nice and full, and luckily short third man wouldn't be able to get to it, as this gets away from him for a boundary. See the replay on your screen.
Umar Siddiqui flashing a blade at it, not where he would intended to have directed it, but nonetheless a boundary to his name. One that the Kingsman X will really need. They'll need a lot more.
A noticeable captaincy from Ali Shafiq, where as soon as Shayan Jayasuriya came on, he took out the left arm spinner from the attack as the next ball comes in. And this is played to deep fine leg, just the cleaning up and just a single. So coming back to that point, we accept that Shayan Jayasuriya is a very good player of spin, and he loves left arm spin coming into it. As soon as Shayan came to the crease, the left arm spinner, Arish Ali was taken off the attack. But now that he has departed, good time to sneak in another over of spin. And that's nicely played off the back foot by Bonner, who moves on to 7 of 11. Very uncharacteristic of Bonner himself. Such is the situation.
Yeah, they've had problems with losing wickets at regular intervals ever since the departure of Tajinder Singh. Wickets falling at 35, 39 and 49, and now at 56 for 3. So they've struggled for real consistency, and they've struggled to really build any sort of substantial partnership so far in this innings.
This is slightly short in length. Both those fielders are inside the circle, short third man and point, so there was that huge gap to exploit. But Umair failed to capitalize on that ball as Arish Ali continues, and again, same kind of a delivery. Almost an action replay of the previous ball. I wonder if Umair has been pushed ahead of Fawad Alam to up the ante and play some shorts.
I think it would make sense if that is the case, because why else would you hold back a player as experienced as Fawad Alam? So perhaps Umar Siddiqui being used as the hitter from one end, allowing Bonner to really settle himself in.
Exact 3-dot balls, identical in fashion. The over. So coming back live, you're joining us from the third edition of what's called the DAFA News Houston Open 2023. This is the official second day. One day out of the 5 scheduled days was rained out yesterday. The score 6 for 3 in 10 overs. Matt, what kind of score do you think Stallions X, or rather Kingsman X, can get to from this point onwards, given there's only 6 overs to go?
6 overs to go. If they get 10 and over, 60 runs, they'll probably get to around 115, 120. Not sure if they are capable of going 10 and over from this stage.
Which is still 30, 40 runs under par. They'll have to bowl out of their skins, as this one is nicely worked off the back foot to the onside for a single. Bonner gets to the other end and puts Umar Khan back on strike. Ali Shafiq, the skipper, is now bowling himself out. This is going to be his third over. He's obviously going for the kill. Matt wants one of these scalps. He would love to get the wicket of Nkrumah Bonner in his final over and put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, perhaps the only thing separating the Clarion Eagles from a quite simple run chase is the presence looming of Nkrumah Bonner. He comes into strike now, but even still, even though he has been out there, he has been kept quiet. 8 of 12, hasn't been able to find the boundary as yet.
And he's capable of turning it on at any given point in time. Two things that haven't worked in his favor so far is the quality of bowling, and also he's run out of partners. They haven't been able to stitch any kind of partnership. As Ali Shafiq gets ready to bowl to Bonner. And again, that very tight back of a length. There's not much you can do just to fend it to third man and get across for a single.
Good over this from Ali Shafiq. Singles won't really hurt the Clarion Eagles, you feel, at this point. Run a ball will get them to just maybe around 90 or so.
Maybe missing their skipper way too much. Somebody needs to put up their hand and take the lead, take the bull by the horns. This has been a very subdued approach. And this one again, this is going straight to the throat of the fielder, who makes a good diving catch. Another one bites the dust. Umar departs now.
Good catch in the deep. Looking to go straight, perhaps. Umar Siddiqui didn't get hold of it. In the end, the edge flew away. Well taken catch by Arish Ali. And just as you were mentioning, a subdued innings. Another wicket falls to add even more pressure.
Half their side back in the hut now.
it's interesting. It's an interesting tactic because Fawad Alam, we do know at the international level, isn't perhaps the best of ball strikers, and a player that is a lot more technical and have a lot more shots along the ground and is really good in terms of finding the gaps within the field. So by not sending him in, with deliveries running out and wickets keep falling, he's only going to come in later. So it's interesting to know why it's interesting to know the reason behind not sending Fawad Alam, because even with 32 deliveries remaining, 32 deliveries is perhaps still a bit of time for him to get a few balls to get himself in, and if he can find the boundary, he can do so. But doesn't look like it's him again walking out to the middle. So adding to the mystery here of Kingsman X. Ali Shafiq continues.
And that's again back of length. Just defended there. We're trying to get you the name of this batsman. The jersey number is not showing up on the team sheet. It's been very hot and humid conditions. The players are having to switch jerseys around.
Yeah.
That disturbs the flow of things for our scorers. And Joseph has been making the runs back and forth. So Jaskaran Singh Butter is the new batsman. Renowned more so for his medium pace, quick bowling exploits. So we have officially gotten into the tail.
I don't know about that. We would have seen Kingsman X obviously traveling to this pitch, having just completed one right before that. And Jaskaran Singh would have played quite a hand there, even though in a losing effort would have brought the game down a lot closer than it perhaps should have been, as we see him attempt one of the more unconventional shots. But certainly some power in the arms of Jaskaran Singh. 10 completed. It's 59 for 4 for Kingsman X. Five overs to go. Arish Ali will complete his quota. 2 overs, none for 16. Bowling to Nkrumah Bonner. Bonner is on 9 of 13, has been kept quiet.
Was nicely driven. Good line and net there. Sweeper cover comes across, and it's just going to be a single. Interestingly, Matt, besides the leadership of Ali Shafiq for the Clarion Eagles, I'm also seeing Ben Dunk involved quite a bit in decision making. He's also maneuvering the troops, senior statesman of this team, so obviously he's contributing as much as he can, and seems to be working for them so far in this innings.
That's what you want from a player like Ben Dunk, who you've recruited from overseas, obviously hailing from Australia. A lot of Big Bash, PSL, CPL experience for him. Brief international experience, I believe, for Australia. That's what you want. You want them to come here. You want them to take the game seriously, not feel as if they're above the level or anything like that. Still to take things as serious as they normally would in any other country or at any other level. As Bonner gets a slice on this one. Does it have enough to run away? Yes, it does. So a much-needed boundary, a welcome boundary, that of the bat of Nkrumah Bonner.
Yeah, that's going to count as a misfield. Should have been stopped, especially given the kind of standards they've set for themselves. Almost dived over the ball. It's still not over till it's over. You still want to keep tightening that noose. Don't let them off the hook. Bonner is still someone who can turn the heat on at any given time, as Arish Ali continues to Bonner. And this is nicely played. He's trying to get through for a single, but good work by the fielder at point. Keeps them down to a dot ball.
As you mentioned, the absence of Shayan Jahangir, but also the absence of Shubham Ranjani and Rakeem Cornwall, who are meant to be in this Kingsman X lineup, aren't featuring in this game. Perhaps adding to the blows of their batting. Ranjani in the middle order, Rakeem Cornwall with his explosiveness at the top.
And this one is nicely worked off his pad, straight down the ground. Long on is going to come across and keep it down to just 1 run. As over number 11 comes to a close, they're now going at just exactly 6 runs and over. It's 66 for 4.
.24 balls left, 4 overs. Jaskaran Singh Buttar and Nakrumah Bonner out in the middle. Bonner the man on strike.
Arshad Iqbal is coming back in from the forest end. Good spell with the new ball. And this one, a wild swing, and it goes off the edge, flies off that pace of Arshad Iqbal for a lucky boundary for Jaskaran Singh.
Bonner.
For Bonner, correction there.
Yeah, at this point, you've got to be brave. You've got to try to play some of those big shots. Nakrumah Bonner, clearly, judging by the shot selection, was looking to do so. Didn't get the intended area, but certainly got himself a boundary, which is the most important thing, regardless of how they come. So Arshad Iqbal into his final over. So interesting plan this. So perhaps they'll be keeping Ahmad Butt for the pace at the end. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the 13th and 14th over.
And this one is again slightly short of length. A lot of time for Bonner to rock back and work it with the pace of that delivery to deep square leg. And he gets through for a single. That's going to put Jaskaran Singh Butter on strike. And like you said, Matt, he's somebody who's got those long levers, packs a punch. Can he get stuck into Arshad Iqbal? Stallions would want nothing more than Jaskaran delivering a couple of big mighty blows here.
Jaskaran Singh Buttar as well would have represented India A. Would have been part of the rising Pune Super Giants in IPL briefly. Experienced campaigner, swings and a miss this time. Through it goes to the keeper. So Arshad Iqbal has had a very good day. 2.5 overs, 1 for 12. Would have gotten the wicket of Kuram Manzoor. With 21 deliveries remaining, the Kingsmen X are looking for something. They're searching for a spark. They've got to go at some point.
What's very good about this bowling plan, Matt, is he's hitting the deck just back of length, and he's asking him to go cross-batted, and they have those 3 fielders in the deep on the leg side. So bring out the long handle, Jaskaran, if you want to clear that boundary. This is the challenge from Arshad. And again, just cramps him. It's very hard to get that length away, to get under it and get any kind of distance. And in fact, that's a no ball, unforced error. So that's going to result in a free hit.
Do not want to be bowling those at this stage. You've got the Kingsmen X right where you want them. You've got them under some pressure. Now Arshad Iqbal committing a bowler's crime by bowling a no ball. And they got a single off of it, so it will be Nkrumah Bonner to face up to the free hit delivery.
That's just what they wanted to break the shackles.
Certainly a huge chance this, not only for the Kingsman X, but for Nkrumah Bonner to really find some timing. He's had a bit of a struggle today. Gets a good result off the free hit ball. That Nkrumah Bonner muscling that one. Where it goes for 4. So now, with 2 deliveries to go, 11 has come off this over. Things are looking much better here, at least in terms of this over off of Iqbal for the Kingsman X. Nkrumah Bonner starting to find a few to the...
Again, right into that pitch. And this time it's been called a no ball. Above the waist, full toss, it seems. And the signal of no ball is confirmed by the leg umpire. So a free hit now for Jaskaran Singh to capitalize on.
Arshad Iqbal losing the plot here. He bowled so well up until this point and now has had no ball problems. First perhaps may have been overstepping the first one and now one for height. So we saw Nkrumah Bonner make good use of the free hit delivery. Now it's up to Jaskaran Singh to make use of his opportunity. Chance for him to go big. Really good over this from a Kingsman X perspective. If they can really get a boundary off of this free hit ball and still one delivery to go after this, they will certainly look back on this over as a spark to the innings.
And this one was in the slot. In fact, couldn't tell from our side on angle, but it's down the leg side and it signaled a wide, so it's still gonna be a free hit for Jaskaran Singh.
What will be interesting is how do the Clarion Eagles utilize their bowlers from here. Michael Grattan has got 2. Do you bowl him for the 13th and then give him the final over and have Ahmad Butt bowl the penultimate, or do you keep Ahmad Butt for the final over? But that would mean perhaps getting another one out of Michael Grattan and introducing a new bowler at this stage, right when the Kingsmen are finding some momentum. Would you want to take that risk?
And this one is in the slot, and he makes decent connection, but it's straight to long off, so Ben Dunk does the cleanup, charging in and keeping it down to just 1 run. Score moves along to 81 now. Bonner is batting on 25 of 22. The Stallions X, Matt would want him to go berserk from here on in and finish this innings pretty strongly.
15 runs has come off this over already. It's been a good one. And still 1 delivery to go. Will Nkrumah Bonner perhaps look for a single to keep the strike, or will he go big? As I mentioned already, a big over this.
And he's running in from quite a lot of distance. Has bowled 2 no balls. So extra work for him to do. This one is again slightly short, and unlucky for Bonner that he finds that only fielder and he gave up on that single. A direct hit would have had him there, but he gets through for a single. The score moves along to 82 now. As over number 12. So some impetus in this innings. It's 82 for 4 after 12. So picking back up live and over number 13, and my young colleague Matt called it. I was very surprised that Michael Grattan was only bowled for 1 over.
Yeah, it's surprising indeed, because especially bowling a left arm unorthodox towards the end of an innings is very unconventional. So Michael Grattan gets the 13th over here. I think at this point he's probably going to be the candidate to bowl the final over as well. The momentum is really starting to shift perhaps toward the side of the Kingsman X. So introducing another bowler after this over in the 14th may be taking quite the gamble if you are to hold back Ahmad Butt for the final over. So your best bet is to probably back the experience of Michael Grattan to bowl the 13th and the 15th and use Ahmad Butt for the penultimate.
And look at the bowling scorecard there. He's got those 2 overs left. This is slightly short, and he gets back onto the back foot and finds that boundary. There was a huge gap there. Looked like it was Ben Dunk at covers with a desperate dive, but the ball evaded his fingertips and went for a 4. It's a good start to the over. Change of bat working for Bonner.
Yeah, Nkrumah Bonner really starting to find the middle here. Not a great start for Michael Rapon. Goes big.
What a huge shot. Finishing it with just one hand. He didn't reach the ball properly, but such is the power of Nkrumah Bonner. Just went through with the shot, and that ball traveled for a good 85 meters, it seems.
Huge hit there from Nkrumah Bonner. As you mentioned, the one-handed shot becoming so popular in today's game. But not a great start this for Michael Rapon. Pressure on him, especially given, as I mentioned, he's probably going to be bowling the final over as well. He'll be definitely be looking to get the wicket of Bonner.
And a lot of bounce on that delivery. Wrist spinners with more revs on the ball find that kind of bounce on a wicket like this. Bonner knew there are those 3 fielders behind square, failed to find that gap and make any kind of connection. And again, similar delivery, and this time Ben Dunk with a desperate dive and couldn't field that ball cleanly, so Bonner gets a single, and that's going to bring Jaskaran Singh on strike.
Jaskaran Singh would have been quite the ball beater in the previous game, has been struggling to really replicate that kind of form in the second game. 3 off 7 from him, facing up to Michael Rapon.
And this one is quickish delivery, pushes it through. Looked like an arm ball, and that was a good take by the wicketkeeper. Jaskaran failed to make any kind of connection on that delivery. Like his namesake with UMMC Knight Riders, who's been firing all cylinders, Jaskaran needs to find some form in these last couple of overs. Brings out the reverse sweep.
Wow.
The commentators curse or the blessing, but that goes for a 1 bounce 4 from Jaskaran. Much welcome boundary.
Lovely shot that. Take a look at this one. The old switch hit being pulled out by Jaskaran Singh. He couldn't have gotten that one any better. Much needed boundary. Big over that. It's 97 for 4 after 13.
Back live now. Just 2 overs to go in this innings. Big couple of overs there. So Nkrumah Bonner and Jaskaran Singh have finally found their footing in the last couple of overs. A lot of interruptions, drinks break, change of bat, change of gloves. They've been slightly behind the over rate, and as you can see, the umpires are constantly as over number 14th is about to resume. And quickly looking at the bowling card.
Ahmad Butt, the pick of the bowlers, reintroduced for his final over. 2 for 9 from him. Economy rate of just 4.5. He'll be looking to get another big over and another big wicket. He's gotten 2 big wickets already in Tajinder Singh and Jayasuriya. He'll be looking to knock over Nkrumah Bonner as well.
One thing I can say, looking at that bowling card, is the Clarion Eagles, Ali Shafiq, would have preferred to have a space bowlers bowling in the death. Slight miscalculation. They could have sneaked one more over from Michael Grattan somewhere towards the middle of the innings when the batting was a little subdued. But now they'll have to bowl Michael Grattan in that last over, as Jaskaran Singh has a wild swing at this delivery and he completely misses out. In fact, it was Bonner. My apologies, and he's lost his wickets.
So Ahmad Butt, the man with the golden arm for the Kingsman X, that's the 3rd man he's bowled in this game. And it's the 3rd superstar he's bowled. We saw him bowl Tajinder Singh, then Shihan Jayasuriya. And now take a look at this. Stumps flying all over from Nkrumah Bonner. Ahmad Butt, 3rd wicket of the day for him, 3 for 9. Wild swing and a miss from Nkrumah Bonner. May have just been a bit of a slower ball from Ahmad Butt. May have just rolled the fingers through it a little bit. 5th one down. Bonner goes for 37. Would have probably liked him to stay till the end of the innings, but played a handy knock nonetheless.
So it looks like the next batsman in is, of course, not Fawad Alam. Looks like they've decided on a role of bowling spin for Fawad Alam. He does that too. But the new batsman is Asif Mahmood. He needs to deliver some meaty blows. Even the 100 is not up in the 14th over. We repeatedly said that 150 might also be below par. Such as this wicket, it's an absolute belter. And again, that very good back of length, shy at the stumps, and Jaskaran would have been run out if the keeper hit the stumps there.
Single to get Asif Mahmood off and running. Hands things over back to Jaskaran Singh. At this point, you've got to hope Jaskaran Singh starts to middle a few. Ten deliveries remaining. Can the Kingsmen X get to around 115, 120? They'll need a few meaty blows to do so. And I wonder if they're perhaps sizing up for Michael Rapon for the final over, perhaps trying to maybe see out Ahmad Butt, because he has been the best bowler of the day so far for the Clarion Eagles.
And the thought I was holding on was Ahmad has been so good with that back of length, hitting the splice of the bat. He doesn't even need to think about bowling Yorkers. But Jaskaran on that occasion backing away, showing his stumps. So Ahmad accepted the invitation right in the block hole that.
I'm not sure that's a wise idea to be showing your stumps to someone that has bowled 3 of your best batsmen. Big risk taken there by Jaskaran Singh. Very good over this from Ahmad Butt. The wicket of Bonner, the big wicket of Bonner. And has restrained Jaskaran Singh for the time being.
And backs up again. He does. And bang down. What an effort there. Diving effort. Bad bounce. No concerns about his own safety. Those kind of balls could just ricochet and hit you. But he made a wonderful diving effort and kept it down to just 1 run.
Yeah, wonderful athlete Ben Dunk. Usually see him with the gloves on, but we've seen him out in the outfield. He's been very busy in terms of field setting and his leadership. And a very good effort from him.
This one again is that foolish delivery. Gets the inside half of the bat and they can only manage a single. The 100 finally comes up. It's been a slow crawl. In the 14th over, only 7 balls to go in this innings. 7 balls, a minimum of 20 runs would even get them to 120. Even that's not going to challenge Clarion Eagles batting They've got to get somewhere now. The last 7 deliveries have got to go. Couple of sixes, couple of boundaries. And that should be a wide, which it is indeed, signaled by the leg umpire. Way over the head of the batsman.
Ahmad Bott done very well, 3 for 13 from 2.5 overs. Final ball of the day for him. Jaskaran Singh. Can he belt one out of the playing area?
And he does, it seems he makes good connection. You called it, Matt. And that goes a long distance. A much welcome 6 now for Stallions X. Or the Kingsman X rather. As you watch this replay. 107 at the end of 14.
Lovely shot that, swinging away into the leg side. Jaskaran Singh. Much needed 6 for him and for the Kingsmen X. 107 for 5. Final over on its way. So we've had quite some contrasts in the 2 days of play that we've had. On Wednesday, we would have seen some really big totals back in when the games were fully played in a full 20. We would have seen the likes of Sam Palmy cross 220 on 2 occasions. We would have seen the likes of St. Louis Americans post close to 200. Today, though, it's been a bit of a contrast pretty much all around the grounds. We've had some low scores, especially from some teams you probably wouldn't expect to have such low scores. Right behind us, the Atlanta Fire, restricted to just 75 in 15 overs.
Yeah, Atlanta Fire have been the big surprise in this tournament. Haven't played up to their reputation. They would be extremely disappointed at the 2 losses they've suffered. They came back strongly, won by a margin of 86 runs this morning. But again, losing that game. And the final over has resumed. It seems it's still Michael Grattan, but he's not bowling that traditional spin of his. He's looking to bowl seam up. Interesting decision there.
Yeah, Michael Grattan, a very versatile bowler. And bowling to Asif Mahmood. And gone. So, stepping down the track is Asif Mahmood, looking to take on Michael Grattan. In the end, Zishan Ashraf does very well behind the stumps. Always the risk of stepping down the track to the spinner.
So the first ball, he bowled quicker and it seemed he bowled it seam up. But normal services have resumed. So the variation of Michael Grattan foxing the batsman, that came a lot slower than that first delivery, and the batsman was already in his stroke. Easy stumping there. So curtains now for Stallions X. Let's see who the batsman is. Fawad Alam still hasn't come out to bat, so remains to be seen if he is the one who's been sent out. With only 4 deliveries to go. By the look of it, it doesn't seem that it'll be seen.
No, it's not. It's
Fawad Alam.
it's Gomel. Yeah, so it doesn't look like we'll be seeing Fawad Alam at all in this innings with only 4 deliveries to go. Michael Grattan has started off this final over very, very well. 3 dot balls, one of them being the wicket. Akashit Gomel is the new man in. 107 for 6 on the board for Kingsmen.
The bat and the LBW. So another wicket has gone down.
Yeah, looking to swing across the line on that occasion is Gomel. Michael Grattan, another brilliant over from his, and yeah, that's quite a simple decision.
That's a conventional dismissal for a left arm wrist spinner. Not seeing that. The ball just landing in line with off stump or just outside and then turning in, hitting the back leg. The batsman was trying to play that big slot, completely missing out. So easy pickings for Michael Grattan. He will accept these wickets with a big smile.
And what an over this has been from Michael Grattan. Yes, he's been bowling to the tail end, but still, to bowl 4 dot balls, 2 of them being wickets, in the final over of a game, certainly quite an achievement.
And now, finally, with 2 balls to go in the innings, arguably their biggest player, the most accomplished international, with loads of runs behind him in first-class cricket, Fawad Alam walks out. I wonder what could be the thinking behind holding him back. So Fawad Alam is going to take strike to Michael Grattan, who's picked up 2 wickets in this over and hasn't conceded a run so far. Just 2 deliveries to go in this final over. The score is 107 for 7.
So what can Fawad Alam do from these final 2 deliveries?
And he nicely defends it and gets the single.
So hands things back over to Jaskaran Singh. We would have seen over on pitch 6 in the first game Hassan Khan bowl a 1-run final over. Can Michael Grattan do the same thing here? And Michael Grattan would have had the benefit of taking 2 wickets as well.
Yeah, happily hands it over to Jaskaran Singh to finish the innings. Jaskaran would love a meaty blow to get the total into 114 if he can deliver a 6 at this point. Michael Grattan coming in with the last ball of the innings. And a wild swing, and there's a big appeal. Umpire denies them, so that's another dot ball. A subdued end to the innings. No fireworks. We anticipated that the Kingsman X might close the innings strongly, but that's not been the case. 108 now in 7 wickets in 15 overs, and that's the end of the innings as we quickly pull up the batting scorecard.
So as you can see, not much of a scorecard to talk about. Nkrumah Bonner top scoring with 37. Never really got anything going in terms of partnerships or even individual performances. Even Nkrumah Bonner for that 37 really took him a while to really get himself in. Starts for Kura Manzoor, Tajinder Singh, and Jaskaran Singh Bhuttar, 14, but never really exploded towards the end like they would have liked. So in the end, 108, a subpar 108 set by Kingsman X.
And looking at the bowling for the Clarion Eagles, they all came to the party right from the first over. Arshad Iqbal and Ali Shafiq shared the new ball. 1 wicket apiece, just going at about 7 runs an over, those 2. Arsh Ali was really good as he came on first change, 23 of his 3 overs. The pick of the bowlers was Ahmad Butt, who bowled 3 economical overs, only conceding 19 runs and taking 3 important scalps. And Michael Grattan, given the responsibility of bowling in the death as a spinner, did exceptionally well, and 7 wickets fell in that innings. They were also pretty economical overall and only conceded 8 extras, so when the Clarion Eagles come out to bat. They're chasing 109 runs. We'll be back after the short break in 10 minutes with the reply from the Clarion Eagles.
Welcome back for the final innings of the day. It's been a very eventful day for us commentators here at the Prairie View Cricket Complex. And we enter the home stretch for today. Still 2 to go after this for us.
Eventful is an understatement, Matt. It's been scorching at a heat index of about 110 degrees. This is the third T20 game we are calling today, starting from 9 a.m. But not complaining, it's been that kind of action. So very interesting, the quality of cricket we have seen, the galaxy of stars, the kind of players who have descended upon Houston for this DAFA News Houston Open 2023. Speaking of which, Zishan Ashraf and Mukhtar Ahmed are taking the crease now for the Clarion Eagles. And with the new ball is Zia-ul Haq. They're chasing 109 runs. And this one has been dispatch of the back foot. But there's still that fielder square leg who keeps it down to 1 run. So Zishan Ashraf gets off the mark. And Mukhtar Ahmed is now on the strike.
Mukhtar Ahmed, very quality player as well. And we look at the batting lineup that the Clarion Eagles possess. You perhaps feel the Kingsmen X were well short of where they would probably like to be. Likes of Zishan Ashraf, Mukhtar Ahmed, Saif Badar as well, Ben Dunk, Tom Bruce, Shoaib Maqsood. Lots of international flavour in that batting lineup.
When we looked at the rosters at the start of the tournament, we did feel Clarion Eagles are also one of the favorite teams. They had a surprise loss to Masters Cricket Club yesterday, but they've come back pretty strong now. As Zia-ul Haq gets that ball to angle away from Mukhtar Ahmed, who wanted nothing to do with that. They need scalps with the new ball. Need to make some inroads as this next ball comes in. Nicely defended by Mukhtar. And they get through for a single. Might have been tight. There was a shy at the bowling end. No harm done in the end.
Gets things back over to Zishan Ashraf. Ashraf on 2 PSL players, Zishan Ashraf. 107 more to win. Just 7.3 required and over. 2 very explosive openers out in the middle in Zishan Ashraf and Mukhtar Ahmed. And where I've been today, one-sided games have followed me, so...
That's nicely driven straight to mid-off, a dot ball. You've gotten lucky with those first 2 fixtures, Matt. The first game, a mere 50 runs were put on the scoreboard, which was chased in 3 overs on PV6. And the second one, UMMC Knight Riders took only 10 overs to chase down 116 or so, if I'm correct, by the St. Louis American. And this is full right in that slot. Zishan Ashraf accepts the invitation and gets things underway with a huge 6. As we look at this replay.
Yeah, Zia-ul Haq started things off well, but Zishan Ashraf on that occasion asserts his dominance. Lovely shot that, all the way, clearing the fence with ease.
And the way he held that pose.
Lots of cameras indeed.
Statement shot there. And this one, what a good reply by Zia-ul Haq. Zip in that delivery, just took off from just short of good length. So, even Stevens, a 6 and a couple of plays and misses in that first over. 8 for no loss at the end of 1. So, former Pakistan international Ehsan Adil made his international debut for Pakistan in Test cricket. If I'm correct, played a Test match in England. Or in fact in South Africa. Graham Smith was his first international scalp. Played the under-19 level and quickly got up through the ranks to make his international debut. And here he is in the Dauphinese Houston Open 2023. He's been playing for the Kingsman franchise across the country over the last couple of years or so.
Quality bowler is Ehsan Adil. We've seen him ever since relocating to the United States, all across the country. Become one of the best bowlers. Big appeal. Not out, says the umpire, but still a very good delivery. And Ehsan Adil, his height definitely gives him an advantage. About 6'3", 6'4" is Ehsan Adil. One of the most dangerous pacers you could probably face up to in this tournament. It'll be an interesting battle, this. Ehsan Adil, top quality bowler, one of the best we have at the moment in the country, facing up to Mukhtar Ahmed, who has himself been new to the United States, relocating, and has proven himself to be a savage ball beater.
Your team, he was beaten by sheer pace. Wants to get that trigger movement going, ready to pounce on anything. And look at that, he does exactly that. What a reply by Mukhtar Ahmed. Wow. That must have traveled close to 90 odd meters, if not 100. And the way he holds that pose, look at that, how beautiful was that? The follow through, the high elbow.
Goodness me, Mukhtar Ahmed. And one thing that replay, well, there we go, it does zoom out. The distance that got, certainly one of the biggest we've seen. Mukhtar Ahmed.
What was very interesting to me was on that appeal of the previous delivery, Ehsan Adil ran right up to Mukhtar, and after the appeal, as it was denied, there was some words exchanged. Mukhtar just stared blank into his face, and the bat does the talking. This is high quality, high octane cricket, as Ehsan Adil now pulls his length back, and just Mukhtar peacefully wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, certainly Ehsan Adil is fired up. And a lot of the times fast bowlers, that's part of the job as a fast bowler, especially an intimidating one as Ehsan Adil is, to try and get into the head of the batter as well. But as we saw, Mukhtar Ahmed is probably not the best batter you'd want to have an exchange of words with.
And that keeper is as back as I've seen any keeper in this tournament so far. So there's definitely some steam. And another one that just bounces off just short of good length. Mukhtar had no option but to fend it. Does that quite safely, so no harm done. But what a contest this is brewing up. Ehsan Adil, you see, just nothing short there. He was trying to whip it, but whether he wanted to go with a cross bat or a straight bat, he just wasn't sure. Maybe done by the pace. And that's a huge wicket. Mukhtar Ahmed is one of the most important batsmen in this lineup, Matt.
Huge wicket that indeed. Ehsan Adil. Mukhtar Ahmed may have won a battle, but Ehsan Adil wins the war in the end. 14 for 1 as Mukhtar goes for 7.
Remains to be seen who the new batsman is joining Zishan Ashraf. Whoever it is has to still negate one delivery from an Ehsan Adil who has his tail up. But a like for like match walks out in the form of Shoaib Maqsood. If Ehsan Adil, you are a Pakistan international, so is Shoaib Maqsood. This should be another great contest to watch. Ehsan Adil to Shoaib Maqsood. Nice foolish delivery. Could have been curtains for Shoaib Maqsood if that underarm flick would have hit the stumps at the end of 2. It's 15 for 1.
So Ziaul Haq will continue, 1 over for 8, bowling to Shoaib Maqsood. Lovely shot, gets it through, but just a single protection out there. Single to Maqsood gets Zishan Ashraf back onto strike. We've already seen a big 6 from Zishan Ashraf. 93 to win from 77 deliveries. Just over 7 runs and over required at this stage on for the Clarion Eagles.
So quick update from PV6 field, the game between Atlanta Fire and Texas Thunders. I'll come back to it after this ball. As this is a wild swing, and it's been caught behind another big wicket. Zishan Ashraf is the one that's dismissed now. Is there another twist in the tail?
Certainly seems to be the case. Ziaul Haq rather, this time picking up the wicket. Zishan Ashraf looking to go big. In the end, gets the nick through. And a very good catch taken behind the stumps by Umar Siddiqui.
So, like I said before that delivery, we'll try to get you a quick update from that Prairie View 6 field. The fixture between Atlanta Fire and Texas Thunder. And it keeps getting bad to worse for Atlanta Fire. They recovered from that big loss yesterday, won the morning game, but they succumbed to 72 for 8 in 15 overs. And Texas Thunders making easy chase out of it. 7 overs is all they took to chase down 77 for the loss of just 1 wicket. So I wonder if that's the end of all the hopes and the campaign for Atlanta Fire. We'll, of course, have the updated tables coming out pretty soon, and we'll know which teams would be heading out into the playoffs. But all's on the line in this game, as the second wicket has now fallen, and it seems the new batsman joining Shoaib Maqsood is Ben Dunk. Of course, known for a lot of his exploits in the Big Bash League and several other leagues across the T20 circuits, the franchise circuits across the world. So Ben Dunk has now got to come out and negotiate Ziaul Haq, and that's nicely played off his pads.
Ben Dunk off and running straight away. Gets Shoaib Maqsood back on strike. Definitely in a rebuild process here, the Clarion Eagles. At the start of the innings, we probably mentioned, had Zishan Ashraf and Mukhtar Ahmed fired to the extent this chase could have been over in a flash, but now with 17 for 2 on the board, work to be done for Shoaib Maqsood and Ben Dunk to prevent any further wickets from falling for the next few overs, as well as to not let the scoring rate creep up to around 8.5, 9 runs and over.
And this one, he drifts down the pad. That's easy pickings, but he's got some protection in there. So just a single. And although only 108 runs were scored in the first innings and only 18 runs right now for the loss of 2 wickets, there are no demons in the pitch. Not that we can tell in still looks like a belter of a wicket. Just the quality of bowling has been so good, Matt. Everything's been right on the money. The pace bowlers are just pulling through. They are on some kind of nitro boost to be working this hard this late in this day. This is cut off the back foot, but points does pretty well to field it. Another dot ball.
Shehan Jayasuriya that making the stop. Ben Dunk on strike. Final delivery coming up. Ziaul Haq, 1 for 11 from 1.5 overs. Has had a very good day with ball in hand, at least in this game.
And this one is nicely worked. This could be tied but the throw was wayward. Could have been tied if there was a direct hit. But Ben Dunk was pretty confident, so he gets a single as the third over comes to an end. It's 19 for 2. There's been a resolute start from the Kingsmen X as they've come out with positive intent to defend this total. They have been aggressive in the field. The bowlers haven't looked to contain. They're going for wickets. Ehsan Adil bowled an express second over. The battle between Ehsan Adil and Mukhtar Ahmed was one to behold. And now he's going to go up against Ben Dunk. It just keeps getting better, ball by ball, this contest.
Yeah, certainly Ehsan Adil was fired up in that previous over. Mukhtar Ahmed, whatever words were said between the two, or maybe between Ehsan Adil and a blank Mukhtar Ahmed, didn't seem as if he was interested. Nonetheless, Ehsan Adil ended up getting the wicket. And here he is now steaming into Ben Dunk and Shoaib Maqsood. It'll be interesting to see the approach to the rest of this chase, particularly between Dunk and Shoaib Maqsood. Do you try for the next few overs just to block up the flow of wickets, having lost 2 early ones, but at the same time, asking rate 7.5, you don't really want to get that to an uncomfortable 8.5, 9, to a stage where it continues to rise, even though there is still some power left in this batting line with the likes of Tom Bruce, Saif Badar, Ahmad Butt as well, in addition to the 2 in the middle right now. So it'll be interesting to see how well they pace themselves and how well they can get to a suitable, how well they can maintain a suitable run rate without further taking any more high risk.
Yeah, hold on to that thought, Matt, for the next delivery as Shoaib Maqsood takes strike to Ehsan Adil. Another lip-smacking contest this. Pacey delivery, but he was up to it. Uses the pace to glide it to third man and get across for a single. So the thing, coming back to that point you were making, Matt, the things that's going to play in favor of the Clarion Eagles is that they're only chasing a mere 108 and there's no scoreboard pressure. So they can afford to absorb a few deliveries, get their eyes in, and like you said, in spite of them losing those, they're still well ahead in this game. But a lot of onus is upon somebody like Ehsan to go after wickets now. And this could be tied if there was a direct hit. There was a lot of confusion, yes and no. Never run off the misfield. Is that thumb rule your coaches tell you?
The heads and hands, the kneel to the ground from almost everyone on the field for the Kingsmen X rather. Had that been a direct hit, would have been a goner. But in the end, he lives to fight another day, does Shoaib Maqsood. He's looked quite well so far, Shoaib Maqsood. He hasn't played any big shots. He's only 4 of 4, but the way he's managed to find the fielders, to manage to rotate the strike, he's looked to be in some bit of good nick.
Yeah, they can afford to absorb all the pressure as Maqsood, what was the need for that? Dear oh dear, he tries to get across, walk across his stumps and totally misses out. Maybe there was an inside edge, hard to tell. Maybe he had just moved outside the line of off stump, so there was no risk.
So, Maqsood is on 4. So Isan Adil has bowled 1 for 10. 4th over this. Kingsmen X have fought back quite well. A valiant effort this so far.
And this one is crushed off the back foot. Lot of time there for Sohaib Maqsood, and he wins that final battle with Ehsan Adil. 2 Pakistan internationals going at it.
A lovely shot up and over. Picked the gap nicely. Sohaib Maqsood is looking in very good touch at the moment. Yes, we just saw a very loose shot from him before, but that boundary and the singles he's managed to get, the way he's rotated the strike, the shots he's played aside from the one previous to this boundary have all been proper shots, have all been along the ground. He hasn't taken much risk at all. He's looked in command of almost all the shots he's played so far, has Maqsood.
And this one, like it's been a game of cat and mouse with Ehsan Adil. You have won, I have won. That's been the method to the madness today. So as over number 4 comes to a wrap, it's 26 for 2. And we're going to have a very special pairing in the commentary box. A father-son duo of the Achabars. Lenny's going to be replacing me in the next over.
So 83 to win from 65 balls, and this one can go either way, Matt. We've seen a very good contest here between X and the Eagles. And it comes down towards the latter stages here. Ben Dunk on strike, a plays and a miss, as Asif Mahmood comes back into the attack.
First time seeing Asif Mahmood. So they've kept things fast here, have the Kingsmen X. They've had full faith in their pacers, Zia-ul Haq, Isan Adil, and now Asif Mahmood. They've traded blows with the Clarion Eagles. We would have seen a couple of sixes already from Zishan and Mukhtar. Both back in the hut. This one pulled away from Ben Dunk. Field out there, limited to just a single, gets Sohaib Maqsood back on strike.
Yes, Matt, and you look at Dunk, he's plied his trade in the last year or two in the US. We see our good friend Bort Cock just passing in front of us. Another player that comes out of Australia. And you look at Sohaib Maqsood, he's one of the top batters around. And he's got a big role to play here. Still, they require 82 from 64 balls. And Asif Mahmood given the ball here. He started pretty well. Oh, cut away. What a shot here from Sohaib Maqsood. And that has gone bouncing away for 4. That's a lovely shot.
Shot of authority that from Sohaib Maqsood. Given some width and just carved up and over. As you see the replay here. Man in good form at the moment, Sohaib Maqsood. Look at that.
Yeah, in commanding fashion. And you get a feeling, Matt, that this partnership here between Ben Dunk and Maqsood, it has only yielded 15 runs so far. But you made the point that's how solid Maqsood was looking. Ben Dunk is going to use all that experience that he has garnered, having played top-level cricket in Australia, to really pull off a battle here, which is essentially run a ball and a little bit more. Oh, them. So Sohaib Maqsood, perhaps shot selection, not one of the best. And Mahmood comes up with a wicket. It's 31 for 3.
Was looking so good. Shoaib Maksud. One swing too many on that occasion. Expansive drive, chopped on. And Asif Mahmood strikes. Third wicket down. Another partnership broken. Maksud goes for 12. It's 31 for 3. The Clarion Eagles.
Okay. That's even better.
Need to make a business call and do a couple things.
So 78 required from 62. Saif Badar walks in the middle at number 5. Surprising we didn't see him perhaps open the batting, or at least a little bit earlier. Attacking player, top quality player in his own right. Still Tom Bruce waiting. Probably on his way next for the Clarion Eagles. Lots of batting power.
Yeah, Mads, but you'll probably want to think Sohaib Maksud may have given that away, considering he's just struck a lovely 4 punch off the offside. And I hate to see when batters done so well by playing one of the better shots we've seen and get out the next ball by just playing a shot that you can't explain. And so 78 from 61, essentially this is a run a ball game with a little bit more, and we know those a little bit more are the boundaries that will come from time to time. He gets an edge, running up towards the third man area. Fielder does well to keep the ball in play. What an effort. And they pick up a single. So that will complete over number 5. And after 5 is 32 for 3.
.33 for 3. Ben Dunk on strike. He's on 5. Saif Badar with a couple of runs to get him off and moving. 76 required in the final 10 overs. It's not on anything too difficult chase when you look at the scoring rate that's required, but certainly with 3 wickets down, complicates things a little bit here for the Clarion Eagles. A little bit more pressure on.
Yes, Matt, as we have seen in so many T20 chases, the next or the new complications of T20 chases has to be run a ball. It's not as easy as it looks, as Buttar comes into the attack and starts pretty well from a ball that kept a little bit low. And Ben Dong does well to keep the ball out. 33 for 3.
Jaskaran Singh Buttar, first time introduced into the attack. Former India A player. Brief IPL experience with the rising Pune Super Giants.
And Matt, I thought I did see him in minor league cricket or somewhere along the line. Maybe not. Might have been the US Open. So he comes into bowl to the experienced Ben Dunk. Oh, a ripper of a delivery, and he goes through to the keeper. What a ball from Buttar.
It's been pace dominance so far here from Kingsman X. They've utilized 4 bowlers, and all 4 of them have been seamers. And I can't fault them. It's worked out quite well. 33 for 3.
And I would have done a game on this pitch, myself and Munir, and we thought spin really worked on pitch number 6 so far in the earlier game, but Things have really gone different here. We've seen a lot of fast bowling. Oh, down the leg side, helped along the way. And the fielder has done well to block that one up at fine leg. So, good bit of fielding, saved the boundary.
Yeah, down the leg side, swiveled away from Ben Dunk. Lovely bit of work out there.
Might have been Zia Ul Haq.
So Saif Badar comes back into strike on 2. 75 or 57. Still a long way to go here for the Clarion Eagles.
Saif Badar, we've seen him from time to time. He could play a good knock here. But they will just have to make sure that the run rate, required run rate, does not slip away from them. Down the leg side, could be 5 wides.
Yep. Straying down there, too far down leg. Runs away for 5 wides. They don't have a lot of runs to play with, so you can't afford those. Jaskaran Singh.
Yeah, bowling down the leg side. Certainly no benefit of going down the leg side, Matt. You run the risk of giving away 5, and that's exactly what has happened. So Semted to win for 57. And the ball goes through to the keeper. So this over's gone for 6 so far, Matt. Still a couple of balls remaining. Badar remains on 2. 6 to Bendong. They're batting at 39 for 3. And the batter's out. Zishan Asra for 7. Mukhtar Ahmed for 7. And Sohaib Maksud, he fell for 12. 39 for 3.
Partnership of 8 between these two. Jaskaran Singh has gone for 6. 5 of them on his own accord. This
So
one
ball flicked away. Could be looking for a couple of runs. Played into the deep area. Only settling for 1. Good bit of fielding there from the man at square leg. And how has the feeling been so far for the Kingsmen X, Matt?
It's been quite exceptional. Had a few run-out chances. Had they hit the stumps, could have been perhaps an even worse situation for the Clarion Eagles. But other than that, overall, their ground fielding has been excellent. They've put in a lot of effort, throwing themselves at the ball. We saw Isan Adil take a very good cotton ball to dismiss Mukhtar Ahmed. Was hanging in the air for a long period of time.
Oh, that's a good-looking shot from Ben Dong. Will only fetch him 1. And so that will complete the 6th over. So after 6 is 41 for 3.
So 68 from 54. Bowling change. I think it's Tajinder Singh being introduced into the attack. So spin for the first time.
So ball punched into the offside. Nekromabana comes around and brings the equation down to 67 from 53. So certainly not a complicated requirement here. But have we seen when it's too simple, it gets complicated?
Yeah, they don't want to be too complacent here, the Clarion Eagles. They can't afford to let that run rate creep up to something where it'll begin to cause a sense of panic. What's important is they just rotate the strike. That's all that's required in fairness. 7.5 and over. And Ben Dunk and Saif Badawi both know are two very explosive batsmen when they can get going.
So they started well in this over. Couple of singles of the bowling of Tajinder Singh, and essentially what is required. And this is a big ground, a lot of open gaps, a lot of open spaces. This one again punched into the offside, so exactly what they need, Matt. 3 balls in this over, 3 singles, and still 3 balls remaining. As Saif Badar comes into strike. We've seen a good knock so far from Ben Dunk and Saif Badar, and we are saying they're good knocks not because of the quantity but because of the approach. So ball turned into the onside and they're running well, so they've understood the plan. And the plan is to really pick up singles in the interior, push the game deep. If it comes to a situation in which you need 10 and 11 per over, you can always swing for the fences later on. Oh, what a shot into the hands of Fawad Alam. And Tajinder Singh has picked up one. The explosive Ben Dunk has gone. He's gone for 9. Take a look.
Soft dismissal in the end. It's a cracking shot from Ben Dunk in fairness, but just picked out Fawad Alam perfectly. And Tajinder Singh gets the breakthrough. And just when the Clarion Eagles are perhaps trying to claw themselves back into this game, a wicket falls yet again. It's 45 for 4.
Interesting. Look like Mukhtar.
Tom Bruce walks to the middle, the Kiwi, who has been very successful as of late back in New Zealand, also in the United States. So wherever he goes in the last year or two, success has followed him. Man in very good form at the moment at all levels in all formats of the game, Tom Bruce.
So that's the look of the card. Ashraf for 7, Mukhtar for 7, Maksud for 12, Ben Dunk for 9. And Tom Bruce comes in to join Saif Badar. So things are getting interesting here. 64 to win from 49. And Tom Bruce will face up to Tajinder Singh. He tastes some bit of success in this over. Turned away. That's a good looking shot. Will only fetch him a single. But that will complete over number 7. So 7 gone, 46 for 4. Tom Bruce will be on strike when play resumes here at pitch number 6. So Buttar will continue. First over would have gone for 8. Will come in to bowl to the new batter, Tom Bruce. And Matt, we've seen quite a few players from New Zealand making the trip this year, as we have seen in other tournaments around the United States. 46 on the board. Perhaps the most high-profiled New Zealand player here has to be Martin Guptill.
Gotta be. Martin Guptill playing for KINGSMEN. Would have had quite an easy day knocking off alongside Shajil Khan a paltry 51.
So Tom Bruce along with Saif Badar, they need 63 from 47 balls, but You get the feeling that Kingsman X are fighting back here. Driven into the offside in the vicinity of Bonner, and number 12 can't score. So forward alarm we saw in the previous over held on to a very sharp chance of the bat of Ben Dunk. He went straight to him, but he went with power. But he has certainly held on. A man who has played several test matches for Pakistan at the international level, so he brings a wealth of experience having played at the highest level. And play and a miss, and the ball goes through to the wicket keeper. So interesting passage of play. 63 from 45, still asking 8.4, and they're going 6.1 at the moment, Matt.
Yeah, now 8.4, the required run rates. Now things start to get interesting. Because now, another tight over, and all of a sudden singles and twos probably aren't going to win you the game. Jaskaran Buttar has bowled a very fine over this. Hasn't given up a run in it as yet.
Well, he does so now. Ball sliding down the leg side. Signal a wide. And so 62 from 45. Tom Bruce is on 1. Saif Badar is on 5. And this match hangs in the balance. Both teams looking for opportunities to advance their point standing. Tomorrow morning, the last round of 15 over games. And then, of course, we get to the playoff, in which we are told the games will be full 20 overs. Ball cut away into the offside, easy single. Single that brings the equation down to 61 from 44. And this has been an excellent over here from Jaskaran Buttar. He's only conceded a couple of runs, one off the bat of Tom Bruce. And we saw wide not too long ago. So Jaskaran Buttar has really bowled a very good spell here. In fact, it's into his second over. So far he's bowled 1.4, none for 10. So you're watching the DAFA News Houston Open 2023 season. And we're down to second day of competition, 3 day of the tournament. Tournament would have started on Wednesday. And from all indication, as all our viewers, as you've been hearing and following, there's been extreme heat here in Prairie View, Texas. We saw the temperature soaring to real feel it at about 105, 108 earlier on. And Matt, we understand on Wednesday was the mercury was up to probably 110. So we've had a better day today, so to speak.
Certainly. Wouldn't have wanted to be here on Wednesday, that's for sure, if it was worse than this.
So the ball peels off the outside edge. And I'm surprised Saif Badar didn't even move, but they end up getting a couple of runs. That will complete over number 8. The 50 comes up here for Clarion Eagles. And it comes up at the end of over number 8. 50 for 4. So forward alarm comes into the attack. And he gives up 1. Tom Bruce picks up another single match. It's 58 to win from 41. Where is your money?
Well, still quite an open contest this. Forward alarm would not have really gotten to see him with the bat. Would have came in with 2 deliveries left. And would have only gotten a single in the only ball he faced. So we'll be looking to compensate with ball in hand.
Yeah, we saw him taking a very sharp chance to dismiss Ben Dunk. And this one worked into the onside. That's a good placement of a shot. They pick up a couple of runs. Good shot here from Saif Badar.
.56 from 40 required. 8.4 and over the current rate.
So ball again turned into the onside. Saif Badar picks up another run. And Matt, my question to you is, with just a tight chase on our hand, 55 from 39, I wonder how the batters out in the middle knows the score. Are they keeping tap at the end of every over? Are they supplied with these information? Don't see too much running out by the emergency fielder and members of their team. And so how do they really keep on tap here, knowing what's going on?
They must know somehow. I'm not sure if the umpires may perhaps have any sight of the score and perhaps inform them every over. It's a good question.
And I say that with good feeling that there's no external scoreboard here.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that probably pre-review will have to work on. How does the batsman know the scores in very tight situation? This is a tight game. And this one down the ground again. Could pick up a couple of runs. Bonner comes in quite quickly. Any chance of coming for 2? The fast charging Nkrumah Bonner really makes them think that it's only 1. 57 for 4 at the end of 9. So it appears Isan Adil comes back into the attack. 1 for 14 off 2, so he will finish up here. I will come into bowl to Tom Bruce. We've seen a little partnership forming here, Matt. 12 so far.
Well, if this isn't somewhat of an attacking move, then I don't know what is. Bringing on Isan Adil. With still 6 overs to go for his final over. Definitely searching for another wicket. We saw how fired up he was. Running down to the batters, having a word or two with them.
So ball worked into the onside, having a word. So cut away. Will it beat the man at third man? Yes, he has. And that has gone away for a much needed boundary here off the bat of Tom Bruce.
Yeah, much needed shot that. Given some width. Flashed the blade at it. Got enough to take it away to the fence for 4. That'll definitely help. It'll ease some of the tension here for the Clarion Eagles. Still 46 runs to win.
So Isan Adil has gone for 6 in this over so far. Relative to what has happened here, this is a very expensive couple of balls. We saw the first ball going for 2, and then of course the big shot from Tom Bruce. .45 to win from 33. Mamat, while I have you on mic, what are some of your favorite teams in this tournament? Teams that you're expecting to do well?
Well, you've definitely got to say The Dallas All-Stars are making quite a good case for themselves with the way they have been performing. A star-studded lineup. That Samp Army as well. Started off things very well on Wednesday. And then the two Kingsmen franchises as well have been so successful as of late across the country in various tournaments.
What a strike from Saif Badar. He waited for some time for this moment, and it has come. Bang for 6.
Going after Isan Adil in this over. Final over from Adil. He's been hit for 13 already. Saif Badar. Cracking shot from him. Goes a long way back. And now this is an over that the Clarion Eagles just needed just to get back on top of things.
Yeah, we'll have to put our finger on over number 10 that has gone for 13 so far. You thought with the reintroduction of Isan Adil, he was there to break this little bit of partnership. But this one has gone big so far. He's up to 25 between the pair out in the middle. And what a shot from Saif Badar. You know something would have had to give. And it comes in the 9.4 area. A lovely shot over the head of the bowler. Matt just coming back to some of the teams that we're expecting to do well. 70 for 4.
"13 from the over so far from Isan Adil. Another break in the action.
And just coming back to some of the big teams in this tournament who we know are performing well, who we are expecting to do well. And you've got to throw UMMC into that mix, defending champ. And so with the two Kingsmen, Dallas All-Stars playing well. Dallas All-Stars would have done well at the US Open. Munir and I spoke about the Stallions brand, which is now is the Kingsmen brand. And so much at stake in this tournament for those teams. I was of the opinion that the Atlanta Fire team would have been one of the hot team in this tournament, but they've lost a couple of games. They were bowled out for 72 just under an hour ago. So ball worked into the onside. Badar is playing a very good hand here, Matt. And the equation comes down to 38 from 31.
Last ball for Isan Adil for the day. 2.5 overs, 1 for 28. Most expensive over this for the Clarion Eagles. Perhaps realizing that the threat of Isan Adil will be gone after this over, might as well make full use of it.
So playing a miss, that completes over number 10. And after 10 is 71 for 4. So forward alarm will continue, 38 from 30 balls. And the partnership between the pair out in the middle mat has gone up to 26. Badar has played a very good hand, and so has Tom Bruce. $72 for 4. At the end of this over, my good friend Munir will take you through to the end. Or you want to? So sorry about that. Munir will come in and Matt will take a rest. Ball again turned into the onside. Easy single here for Tom Bruce. You get the feeling, Matt? Saif Badar and Tom Bruce has a good hand on the situation here, but you never know.
Yeah, they've done well to rotate the strike between the two of them. That's all that's required at this stage. And you can hit shots like that at any time. Saif Badar tees off on Fawad Alam. Sends that one a long way back. Much needed six that. Just about sends things down to about a runner ball. 30 from 27 needed. And Saif Badar really playing a good hand this. 25 from 15. Has accelerated his scoring in the last over or so. Good looking shot off the bat of Saif Badar.
Yeah, Matt, you're right on that. And there's one particular six I must put my finger on. It's the six over the head of Ihsan Adil that really may have broke the backbone of the fielding team. And you look at what has happened now, 29 from 26 ball. It has really gotten so simpler now. But it was certainly not the case maybe 3 overs ago when things were still hanging in the balance. But those couple of sixes off the bat of Saif Badar has really pushed this game in favor of the Clarion Eagles. So 28 to win from 25 balls. Badar is on 26. Oh, he goes big again. And this has gone high, it's gone far. And it's gone for a maximum. So the over comes to a close. An over that has conceded some 16 runs, 11 gone, 87 for 4. Yeah, take a look at that. Another big shot from Saif Badar. And so that's the latest score here. 22 to win from 24. When we come back, we'll bring in Munir to take us through to the final of this game. 22 to win from 24 balls.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Lenny. It's almost like a foregone conclusion, this game. Saif Badar has been the difference since he's come in. The match seemed to be hanging in the balance at the time when Ben Dunk got out. But Saif Badar has been batting on a different pitch, it seems. The kind of sixes he has hit, the liking he's shown for the spinners.
Yes, Munir. Anytime you're doing a run a ball chase and a batsman comes in and strikes.
He's one of the fastest fielders on this field. If you've seen his international exploits, he's a very quick fielder on his feet.
Yeah.
Then he was gone, Lenny.
Yeah, I heard, Munir, that the feeling has been quite good here for KINGSMEN. But when you look what is happening here, probably they're 20 or 25 runs short. Could have done a lot more with maybe 20, 25 as this game comes down to 21 from 23. But this man on your screen, Saif Badar, how easier it has made for the remaining batters to come. They may not be needed here this evening, but he's really played a good hand. A partnership of 43 between Tom Bruce and Saif Badar. But I maintain my fact that 3 sixes, one off Ihsan Adil and 2 off the previous bowler, has really made things a bit easier for them.
And this one is dispatched with disdain. Long on for a moment, thought he was in with a chance, but he could only see it sail over his head again into those shrubs. They've had to do a lot of retrieving today.
This man is in a commanding mood. Look at this. Picked it up well in the middle of the bat. And it goes far and it goes high again. That's a lovely shot again from Saif Badar. Yeah, and you get the feeling that we're beginning to see some bowed heads in the field, realizing that those 4 sixes from Saif Badar has really taken the wins out of any chance here by Kingsman X. And now he's toying with them. Oh, a big attempt by the fielder to hold on to the ball. And it would have been a magnificent catch. What an effort by the man there. But they get a single. It's 95 for 4. Take a look.
What a diving effort. That was going for 4 for all money. Saif Badar decided that it's a long day for a lot of us.
And you get a feeling that Saif Badar and even Tom Bruce will take the liberty to play a shot or two. And they have so much reason to do that. 13 from 21. You shouldn't lose from here, Munir.
Yesterday, in fact on Wednesday, I'll come back to it after this ball. And this is nicely deflected with the pace point, giving the strike back to Saif Badar. We said on Wednesday, even the Clarion Eagles are no less compared to the likes of UMMC Knight Riders and the Dallas Stars and the Kingsmen, the likes of Tom Bruce, Saif Badar, Nauman Anwar. There are a lot of big names in the squad, and they suffered an unfortunate loss on Wednesday, but today they've played to their potential. And this one could be straight down the throat of that fielder at deep fine left. Again, a couple of feet to his left or right, a couple of feet higher in the air. He was fetching his 4th, 6th there. But unfortunately for him, that's the end of a really good little innings from Saif Badar. He's ensured that his team is going to, in fact, get over the line.
Yeah, 52-run partnership comes to an end. Badar falls for 39. But you get the feeling, Munir, he has done the job. He has put them in touching distance of a win. And it's going to be a big win. A morale-boosting win, taking out Kingsman X. We made the point, and everybody would agree. This is one of the team, Kingsman X, that is destined, or we think, or many people think that they will do well in this tournament. Well, guess what? Clarion Eagles is on the point of winning this game. 12 to win from 19 balls.
Most definitely, Lenny. And of course, they won the coveted US Open. That's one of the most prestigious private tournaments in the country.
So 11 runs to win from the next 3 overs. Still, Munir, you'll have to favor Clarion Eagles if if they don't win this contest here with 11 from 3 overs. Well, they don't deserve to be one of the four runner or one of the favorites in this tournament, although they have played so well this evening.
Oh, you feel you've got 5 wickets. They just keep coming at you. It's such a stacked batting lineup. And you've got somebody of the likes of Tom Bruce, who until very recently was playing international white ball cricket for New Zealand. So it's as good as they come, the kind of players they've got at their disposal in their lineup. And Ahmad Butt is now going to take strike to Ziaul Haq, and that one has been dispatched from his presence. That's a mighty 6, might have gone 90 odd meters.
Yeah, Ahmad Butt. Forget the analysis, forget what is required. Look at this. Short, And he's batting as if they're chasing 14, 15 runs and over. Smacked into the onside with all the ease in the world. And from here on, it's Clarion Eagles all the way. 5 needed from 17 balls.
Insult to injury.
So Clarion Eagles, they take home a victory here. Very important one. As they're taking care of Kingsman X. And this is a very impressive display here from Clarion Eagles. What a game.
From my knowledge of this franchise from the local Houston Cricket League, but now they've transitioned into Kingsman and Kingsman X. The Kingsman X go the moment they came out to bat, the Clarion Eagles bowlers were all over them. There was not even one phase in that game where you thought that they were snatching this game away from the Clarion Eagles. The players exchanged pleasantries in the middle. It's been a very proud performance by Clarion Eagles, Lenny.
Yes, Saif Badar. I wouldn't be surprised that Saif Badar cops the player of the match. Really came in at a time in which it was anybody's game for a time being, when we saw the fall of Ben Dunk and then we saw the departure of Sohid Maksud. But then Saif Badar came in and he not only stuck around by just getting ones and twos, there were 5 lofty blows from this man. So he's really made the work easier. And I'm not surprised that they win by such a big margin of 5 wickets. They played well and they've taken out one of the big teams in this tournament.
And to bat at that ominous strike rate of almost 200 in a chase where the required rate is just under 7. We've said this, that a player who's confident about his abilities, who can take the bowlers on no matter what the situation is, you just go and express yourself and play your natural game. And that's exactly what Badar has done. We've heard this name doing the rounds, Lenny. We've heard this name quite a lot across tournaments, and when he was drafted in the Major League, a lot of people wanted to know who Saif Badar is about. There you have it.
And also, Munir, this will be a good opportunities for players to really cement and show how good they are in this tournament. Major League starts in just about 3 weeks' time, so it's going to be fresh on a lot of people's mind, including the selectors.
Absolutely, Lenny. That's a really good point, because like we said, we've said this several times, that this tournament is almost like a dress rehearsal for the MLC pros and several others just before that Major League kicks off. And with the kind of rosters and teams we are seeing, how stacked they are, the local MLC pros, this is the opportunity to make a case to your franchise management and the coaches that you better be on that playing 11 come that first game of Major League Cricket on July 12th.
Yeah, you're right on that, Munir. And then, of course, it works the opposite way. Some of the players who've been drafted for play Major League, if they should have a subpar tournament, it could have a negative effect on what goes on in the next 3 weeks, especially, as you mentioned, for the local players.
Yeah, and as you look at that worm, you'll see the Saif Badar effect. With a couple of for the table to update, and you can go on the cricket and look at the points table. That would give you a picture of which teams are well placed to make those playoffs, the quarterfinals and the semifinals. And as you see, no surprises there. Saif Badar is your man of the match. So wrap for the day. Majid, with my commentary team of the Achya Bars, and we'll join you tomorrow from 9 a.m. for the next set of games. So very good evening. This is us signing off from the DAFA News Open 2023.